Guys, by now you already probably know that I really like young players. I like young players. I mean, not all will fulfill their potential. Not all will make it. Not all can physically make it into any Premier League side, let alone Arsenal, United, etc. But nonetheless, I like to see them develop, whether they're here or not. I like to see their trajectory. I like to, yeah, man. They're just. How can you not to like young players? How can you not to want to take an interest in potential stars of the future or players of the future? Not everybody's a wonder kid, etc., etc. And to write home about. And not everybody can make it, no matter how many talent. We've got numerous talented players: Dragomir, Maitland Niles, Reece Nelson, Chrissy Willock, Marlon, McGain, Josh De Silva, who's decent, Eddie Nketiah, who's pretty underrated, Ben Chief, who's underrated, Bielik. The list goes on and on. Zalalem, insert any name here. Now I'm going to talk about Dan Crowley, bought from Aston Villa when he's a 15-year-old. Very good player. A standout game against Stoke, which Jack Wilshere was playing for, playing against at the Emirates. He's a very good player. He's got quick feet. He's a set piece specialist. He's skillful. He's confident. He's got that bravado to make it. And I think the only reason he hasn't had a chance is because he's not physically there yet. He's born in. He's got all the techers and things, but mainly it's the mental aspect and the physicality that is lacking from him. And I know I'm backed up by this because you look at a few years ago, the season that Iwobi went on loan. I mean, not on loan. Went on tour with with the boys in pre-season. Crowley went as well, and he impressed. But Wenger did make a mention of how he's physically not there yet, and he's physically not ready for the Prem. Now he's gone on free loan spells, and he's a confident boy. He's even said how many 19-year-olds have been on free loan spells. He went to Oxford. He was going all right. There was rumours about attitude and things like that. Barnsley, he had a very good spell for the large part, and it died out towards the end in the first half of the season. He scored against Everton in the League Cup. I was watching that game, was proud of him. Now he's gone on loan. Well, he went on loan until the season finished to Holland. Now you have to give big props regardless, because on top of, it's hard enough for any player to go out on loan and leave the pretty academy football where everybody tells you how good you are, everything's well structured, everything's prepared for you. You literally just have to turn up and it's all nice and safe. Now to go on any loan spell to go to League Two, League One, etc., etc., it's hard enough for any kid, but to go to another country as a teenager alone from home, again, these footballers are human. Who knows if he can cook and other lifestyle things? It takes massive courage, and that is testament to him. Not only that, they're in a relegation fight. I believe Go Eagles, who he went on loan to, unfortunately got relegated, but it allowed him to gain courage in it because he had to move to another country, having to learn a new aspect of football. It's more, obviously he's a more technical sort of player. These sort of players are typically lost in the English game because when they go on loan to lesser teams, then the teams that they're being loaned to simply need to get out of their league or fighting relegation. They haven't really got time to pander or change their side to players that are more technically gifted. So if you're not strong, powerful, able to run or things like that, you can find yourself out of mention and out of touch. And why I felt to make this video is because Crowley, it's not just Crowley. There's a lot of players that are technically excellent that can be lost in the game. I'm not saying Crowley's lost, but he can be because of things like this. All it takes is a couple of loan spells to not hit home, and you're gone and forgotten about. But big props to him. He's gone into Holland. He's a more technical game. He's developing well. He's even said he's getting stronger. He's getting more physically there. Managers are learning how to trust him, which trust is a very underrated aspect. He said he's learning when to take less touches and when not to play in certain areas. I mean, I did see you against Go Eagles play across your own goal line, so it is still there. But he's young and he's still learning. The main thing is attitude, apart from the physicality aspect. His attitude, there's been rumours about his attitude, and he probably does have an attitude problem to a degree. But for me, it's that right sort of attitude. He's for me, he's clearly over because of what's happened. He's had no choice but to mature up. He's very confident. He said, at Arsenal or not, I'm going to be a professional footballer. A Premier League footballer. That is what you want. That is what you want to hear. For me, the only reason he's not had a chance similar to Zalalem is because they're not physically there. Crowley's born in August. Anyone that is into youth development and things like that knows how much things like that play into players' hands in regards to development. If you're born in August, obviously you're behind in the academic year and things like that. You typically if you're born in August or whatever, you start in the year below or something like that, or September. Not the best example, but you get where I'm going. If you want to read more into that, just type it in on Google. There's things such as that. But there's not much more to be said other than that. Like, Crowley's born in August. Anyone that is into youth development and things like that knows how much things like play into players' hands in regards to development. If you're born in August, or whatever, you start in the year below or something like that, or September. Not the best example, but you get where I'm going. If you want to read more into that, just type it in on Google. There's things such as that. But there's not much more to be said other than that. he's got courage. He's shown his courage in his play. He's shown his courage in the willingness to go out on loan, regardless of how it's gone down. He's showing his willingness to cross the country, cross to another country. Sorry. So he clearly wants to be a footballer. And what's underrated is his aspects of charity and good causes. I know that has nothing to do with being a well, it does, but it has nothing to do with your on-field performance. But he's very level-headed. He donates to charitable causes. He does his bit to retweet and raise awareness. As someone who loves my club, I pay attention to what everybody's doing. And he is a very good footballer. Of course, I'd love him to make it here, but who knows? Who knows? There's several other young players, Benacia, Maitland-Niles, a lot of them. I all think they have a case to make it here, but you need more than just ability. You need that bit of luck. You ultimately need the faith, and he hasn't even made his debut for the first team, so he hasn't been given a chance. Some of these footballers, I do believe, like Crowley, the likes of Crowley, and to a degree, Zalalem, and Iwobi's even backed up Wenger. I believe not everybody has to go out on loan. Some of these players need to be kept very close to the first team. Let them thrive, let them develop, let them get a feel for it, and things like that. Because of the way they play, they can easily find a loan spell not working. But hopefully he makes it. He's shown he can play on the flanks. He can play 10, he can play centre mid, and he'll have to pick it up. But for me, I do believe that he should be given a chance. Next season's going to be a significant one. Obviously, pre-season, does he go on loan? I believe his contract's up 2018, maybe 2019. I'm pretty sure 2018. So it's a big summer. But he said, regardless of if it's Arsenal, he said he would love to make it at Arsenal, but Arsenal are not going to be a Premier League footballer, and that is what I want to hear, and I hope he does it, because he is a very good footballer. He said don't call him Jack Wilshere as well. He's his own man. Of course, you can see why he's labelled the next Jack Wilshere and things, but that is what you want to hear. Very elite mentality. He's had to deal with from the age of 14, 15, being this, well, he's always, well, from, I assume from since the moment he stepped at Villa, they've always earmarked him as one of the guys that could make a step up. To a degree, if he stayed at Villa, he might be in their first team. But in the sense that he's come to Arsenal, he's added height, 15-year-old England international, now comes to one of the biggest in England. We all know where Arsenal talks about youth development and things like that. He's had to deal with pressure. He's always said, he's also aware of people saying, oh, he's just another failed wonder kid. So for me, his mentality can't be questioned. And if there is problems over his attitude, he's definitely going the right way about rectifying them. So for me, I would like to see him included in first team tours, see what he can do. But who knows? Dan Crowley, I got faith in you, whether it's at Arsenal or not. You're going to be a very good footballer, in my opinion. Yeah, guys, to Ludi Goon, I'm signing out. There's not much more to be said on that front. Subscribe, comment. You guys know how the rest goes. And another thing, again, I don't know if I said at the beginning, but his performances in the England youth sides, especially with the other boys like Patrick Roberts, etc. It's amazing, man. Yeah, I'm out.